What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to be finally reacting to cashualchuck's videos on SB19 and their history and story and all of that. I know some of y'all suggested that I do them all in one go and do like a marathon. Probably not gonna do that. I know they're shorter. I mean, I think the first one is 20 minutes, 20 some minutes. I will be watching it on a faster speed just because that's normally how I like take in things. Not when I watch a music video, but when it's like talking, I'll watch them in faster speeds, or if I'm listening to an audiobook or even a podcast. That's just how I am. My ADHD is like short attention span, I don't know, so sometimes it's just like do it faster. Plus that way we'll kind of maybe get through it faster, so it's not so long. I think I'll do 2 of them today, but I won't make you guys wait too long. Maybe I'll schedule them to release like a day after another, so maybe I'll do 2 a day because I do have some other videos to record today, and I only have so much time because of my 2 jobs for the summer that I only have time on the weekends to record. And yesterday I only got to recording 2 which is not the goal. The goal was to record 6, but it didn't happen. So today we're hopefully going to be getting through some videos, and I can only do so much because I record with my camera, my phone, and it dies kind of quickly when it's recording and using the whatever. So today will be cashualchuck's SB19's sound break. But first, before we start watching it, I am parched, so we need to open a bubbler. I haven't done this in a while. This is the wild cherry. Delicious. I'm also just so tired, and I have to work out today still, so let us just get into it. Also, I had to mess around with my microphone and my monitor and the sound because my brother played his games, which I feel like if he's playing on his account and he messes with anything, it shouldn't affect mine. But for some reason, things were touched and messed up, and I was trying to figure out because there was like some echo. I don't know where the other audio is coming from. And it was just a whole thing, and I spent about 25 minutes trying to figure it out, and I figured it out finally. But I'm a little mad at him, and I'm gonna have to talk to him like, don't touch the audio. It's perfectly fine. Don't mess with it. I don't know why it changed it on both of our accounts though, but he is the admin or whatever, so maybe anything he changes will change on everyone else's. I don't know. But here we are. We are reacting to SB19 story episode 1, the ultimate sound break, and I was gonna have it at 2 times. I have the settings to 1.75 just because maybe this will also help, because I don't know if there's gonna be like a copyright strike on this when I do this, but hopefully with it sped up it won't, you know, have any strike on it, so hopefully. But let's get into it. I'm excited to learn more about SB19. Oh, hold up. That was really fast. Okay.
When you hear the words pop music and the best boy band, who comes to mind? What if I told you that the most overlooked boy group in our generation might be these guys?
Hold up. I just gotta make sure. Okay. So I just had to make sure of something.
In the last 6 years, these guys turned a small Korean entertainment company into a company that produced the greatest P-pop group ever.
Are you proud of SB19?
And you don't accomplish that without making a few
Haters.
enemies.
K-pop. Sino pala sila? K-pop pangit.
Some of them come
I'm sorry, what? A bunch of uglies? Says these uglies themselves. Gosh.
K-pop pangit.
Some of them coming from unexpected places.
Pinoy ba to? Hindi kinaya.
But behind the group are 5
Dang.
Kinaya.
But behind the group are 5 driven men who are about to transform what was once a laughingstock genre in music into the fastest growing genre of the world.
Ever since we had this goal, and not just for us, but for the entire industry.
Feeling ko hindi pa natin nakukuha yung recognition na dapat para sa atin.
Between disbanding before they even debuted,
All hope is lost, parang muntan yun.
becoming
They
industry
disbanded before they debuted? What?
outcasts and getting bashed by their own countrymen,
Sana magkaroon tayo ng grupo na hindi naman makakaasa ng tangos ng ilong. Para talagang original.
Oo.
the rise of SB19 may not be the greatest Filipino success story ever,
Maganda kasi yung revenge kasi talaga yung success na ipapakita mo sa mga output nila ninyo.
Tama yan.
but it certainly is the most inspiring one.
Okay, I might just slow it down because some things I can't actually read because some is not in English.
This is called Triple, a group of talented performers and comedians from Korea you've probably never heard of. They were formed back in 1994 when the word K-pop hasn't even been invented. In 2002, one of the members made the biggest mistake of his life, which would change the entire course of P-pop history. That member was Jong Song-han. It all started when he left the trio in 2002 to become an entrepreneur. Cult Triple became Cult 2. Most of their fans thought that Songhan's decision was a huge mistake because the remaining members started racking up different awards in the entertainment industry. If he only stuck around, he would have gotten those awards too. But this man's decision was final. He used all of his savings to build an event organizing company called ShowBT Entertainment. Today we know him as Tatang Robin. Fast forward to 2015. The fight of the century just happened. One Direction's Drag Me Down was all over the radio, and Big
Love me some One Direction.
Bang was the biggest K-pop boy group.
Oh, Big Bang.
While P-pop has top one project. Chances are, you have never heard of them.
I have not, unfortunately.
But somewhere in Makati, Philippines, an audition was held. Tatang Robin was looking for young talents who would be part of the package of their service as an event organizers. Talents who can perform on their own but can also serve as backup dancers and singers to their main performers. One of the main attractions of the said audition was if you're good enough, you might just debut as a member of ShowBT's first ever P-pop group to undergo a Korean-style training. Filipinos don't get opportunities like that so often, so hundreds of talents applied, but only 30 made it as trainees. They were initially called the ShowBT Musical Gala Team, but then later dubbed as Nara, which in Korean means country and also happens to be the national tree of the Philippines. If you're a fan who is deep into the P-pop scene, you would recognize some of the future P-pop stars, but one of the most notable ones is this guy. On the first day of
That was
training,
Pablo, right?
notable ones is this guy. On the first day of training, one guy stood out because he was just alone standing awkwardly in the corner.
Nung una, ang weird niya kung nagsasalita mag-isa.
He was facing the wall and making hand gestures as if he was rapping in front of it.
Nakatayo siya sa gilid. Biglang gagano. Sabi ko, anong ginagawa na? Nagre-ritual ba sa gilid?
That guy was John Pablo Nasser. He always wanted to be a performer. As a young dreamer, he joined several competitions as a soloist and also as a member of the K-pop dance cover group called PHP. In training, he was the guy who shows up early and leaves late despite juggling a full-time job as a data analyst to help provide for his family. He was selected due to his undeniable diligence and leadership qualities. He is known to have critically acclaimed songwriting ability. Some of my sources even said that he had already written dozens of songs at this time. He's also a badass rapper and was often called a genius but consistently denied it because he claimed to be just a hard worker. This made him the destined leader of the group. He was known as Sejin at the time but later would be known as Pablo.
Oh.
30 trainees are a lot of trainees. It would take a very observant person with an eye for talent to notice Pablo in that corner. So who is that observant person with an eye for talent? Well, he was also a trainee. Sylvester
Dang.
Pero. He was only a kid when he started competing as a performer. As a dancer, he racked up win after win on a national level with his school crew and became their official choreographer, teaching crewmates 2 to 3 years older than him. He later joined a dance crew called Seon and went on to win international titles. Stell obviously worked so hard. Amidst his studies and competitions, he also worked part-time as a McDonald's service crew and teaching dance to kids with special needs.
That is so cute. Dang.
There was a point that he worked too hard that he wound up in the hospital. His poor health caused him to lose his earnings and nearly his life.
What? Holy crap, sir. Oh my goodness. Okay, maybe after this series, I definitely will have a bias. What the hell, Stell? You gotta be careful. Jeez, take care of yourself.
Fortunately, he was able to recover. This made him the obvious
Thank goodness.
choice to become the choreographer of the group. But little did they know that dancing wasn't his only talent. As a kid, he joined the school choir to become the only male soprano and only improved
Not surprised with those vocal cords that he was a soprano. The only male soprano.
as he gotten older. He easily became the main heavenly voice of the group because his vocals were just out of this world. Unlike Pablo, Stell was very friendly to everyone. In fact, one of his closest friends also auditioned and made it as a trainee. This strength is nothing to be trifled with because
Justin?
having the worst upbringing among the others made him the strongest when it comes down to pure guts and determination. Josh Cullen Santos.
I'm wrong. Oh, and he's putting their, I didn't even notice. He has their little representation or like the food they like.
He left home at the age of 16 and it was his decision. From growing up in a toxic environment to being physically abused as a kid by their nanny. I'm talking about getting poured candle wax all over their body.
Guys, this is not what I was expecting to like hear their backstory. Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
He left home at the age of 16 and it was his decision. From growing up in a toxic environment to being physically abused as a kid by their nanny. I'm talking about getting poured candle wax all over their body. At an early age,
I beg your biggest pardon? What the hell?
he experienced what it felt like to be a member of a middle-class family that went rock bottom in just a matter of months. They got evicted from medium-sized apartments to increasingly smaller rooms. It came to a point when his family had nothing to eat with rice but ketchup and salt. They had no permanent address. Because of that, Josh and his sister dropped out of school multiple times, so they got bullied at school for being repeaters. Sometimes he would even get into fistfights for defending her. Josh had enough of this, so he decided to leave to become independent and started working as an internet cafe attendant. Using his own income, he took the alternative learning system to attain his high school degree. He initially had no background in performing. Not until he found Stell performing with his dance group called Say On. Josh became an instant fan, and when they connected, Stell became his mentor, which led to them becoming co-members, and they went on to win numerous K-pop dance cover competitions all over Asia. They even met BTS during one of their winning runs in Korea.
Oh wow, really? That's so cool.
So from champions to trainees, what else is in store for them?
Mamma mia.
From then on, their lives became all about performing in small events and training.
We had one mentor when we were training. Tapos more on personality development siya. Tapos presenting ourselves on stage.
We had no idea that the Korean-style training they went through
It's far from what they've been doing sa Korea.
was nothing but a mere marketing strategy.
But yung skill-wise, parang we were left on our own.
And they were left alone to fend for themselves, sharing knowledge to improve each other with the hope of making the cut. Some sources told me that Pablo had to record some of their vocal sessions to effectively coach his co-trainees. All of that without salary. This went on for roughly a couple of years, and I don't know about you guys, but this for
Years? Whoa.
me sounded kind of brutal. It's not easy to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again without any form of guidance. They were also kept in the dark about their debut date. So for
Feel that. Feel that. Doing things over and over again with no guidance. That's me with my EMT right now. I'm trying to get my EMT certification. It's not working out so well.
frustration started brewing until it reached a point when it only took one trigger to call it quits. On one seemingly normal training day, all trainees were already in the studio, except for Josh. On the same morning, the train broke down.
Nasira yung MRT during that time. Nasira yung MRT. So,
Sinuspindi ang operasyon ng MRT dahil sa power outage.
It wasn't really an accident, but this would still worry anyone, especially the trainees, because it's highly unusual for Josh to miss training. Later that morning, Josh arrived. His co-trainees felt relief because Josh turned out to be safe. You would think that their company would react the same way, right? Wrong.
They probably punished him, didn't they? What? Terminate? What, because he was late? Because the train, it wasn't his fault?
Decided to terminate his training.
nalate ako, tapos tinanggal ako.
That was the trigger.
Doon tinanggal po ako, nag-quit din yung mga grupo ko. Nag-quit din sila kasi parang naging trigger na point na kung tatanggalin mo si Josh,
Umalis kami sa grupo.
ganun mo lang kadali itapon yung lahat ng efforts and passion tsaka
And he was there for years, and they're just like, goodbye. Wow.
dreams namin.
Show BT had two choices, to keep all trainees or to keep no trainees. The company chose the latter. Everyone left except for Stell.
Parang si Stella lang yung naiwan po nun talaga sa training room. Tapos talagang down na down lahat.
Si Stell natira kasi doon during that time.
Stell set aside all his frustration and remained focused on his goal, while Pablo was devastated.
All hope is lost parang nung time na yun.
In Josh's case, we can only imagine the pain he must have felt to have been booted out of his dreams. Days passed, everyone still feeling down about that incident. Then Pablo's phone receives a message.
Brother, wali ka na, brother.
It was Josh. Out of all the trainees, the guy that got sent packing was the same guy who actively convinced everyone to continue chasing their dreams. Perhaps this was the sheer guts and determination from his life experiences in full display. Pablo hurried back to the studio to find Stell, alone. But not for long. Josh came back next and took the initiative to convince the company to have them back.
Pumunta lang po ako doon at syempre kung kailangan na makiusap.
So back to training, they went.
Hindi ka nang magkaniwala ng grupo, pero bumalik sila kasi hindi nila kailangan.
There was only 3 of them for
Why am I also getting so emotional, guys? I took my tissues upstairs. Ugh, I should have brought them back down here. I need them for this. My goodness.
a while. Then a few other trainees started coming back. So Show BT put together a talent workshop to get more talents to keep the business going. This was batch 1. This was batch 2.
Target locked.
Justin de Dios.
Justin!
He got scouted right away because he was a very good-looking guy and already was a decent singer and dancer. When he joined, he immediately saw a familiar face in Josh.
You look familiar. As do you.
Apparently, Josh told Justin about the workshop because the two already had a stint performing together in a dance cover group called Zero to Hero. So Justin as well wasn't new in the world of performing. He auditioned to be a part of the televised Pinoy boy band Superstar, but he didn't even make it to the live auditions. Perhaps it was fate. That group is nowhere to be found today. Justin obviously deserved better. He went on to finish his
Yeah, he did. Ooh!
college degree in multimedia arts while training, which earned him a filmmaking skill that would prove very crucial to their success in the future. With Justin on board, this completed their prototype boy group. It's composed of Justin, Pablo, Stell, Josh, Zeno, Kurt, and JP. They did multiple test runs leading up to their entry to Pinoy K-pop Star 2017. They performed B-Day
Where's my boy Ken?
by Icon in an epic fashion, but they didn't win. At this point, Show BT seemed to have hit a roadblock. The group felt like something was missing. I don't exactly know what
It's Ken. They're missing Ken.
happened to Zeno, Kurt, and JP. They either quit or Show BT felt the need to let go of them and get someone who could take this already great group of guys and push them to achieve the next level. The extraordinary level. This year's in the making project of Show BT needed to reach its peak. So they started
Okay, wait a minute. See his face? Maybe I probably never knew his name, but if he's like in the Korean biz, he has his own show, right? Because he looks super familiar, but like the name and the name before he became known as Tatang Robin, like I don't know. The name doesn't sound familiar, but he looks familiar. Does he have like a show like that K-pop idols come on to? Because I've seen him before.
the online auditions. When Josh heard about it, he was like, I know a guy. The guy he was talking about was a pain in his butt because their groups have clashed multiple times in their early dance competitions and their battles were always neck and neck. That guy's name was Philip Johnson.
Hey! Hey!
He was such a specimen. He was so naturally gifted that excelling in sports looked like a walk in the park for him.
Nice.
He grew up in the church under the care of his grandparents. He was an artistic kid, so he was active as an editorial cartoonist in school. Nobody taught him how to play musical instruments. He taught himself by just listening to the music, so he ended up becoming a southpaw guitarist, but he later then fixed it as he learned more. He was
I'm sorry. I don't think I've seen him play the guitar, but you're telling me he plays the guitar and he's self-taught?
Nobody taught him how to play musical instruments. He taught himself by just listening to the music, so he ended up becoming a southpaw guitarist, but he later then fixed it as he learned more. He was also a gifted singer.
Is he... Unless the videos are like swapped.
Into the music, so he ended up becoming a
Because he's playing with both his hands, like left and right.
guitarist, but he later then fixed it as he learned more. He was also a gifted singer as a kid. Every time there was a family
Is
gathering,
he left-handed, dude? I'm left-handed. Fun fact, guys, I am left-handed. Is he left-handed?
he was always forced to sing karaoke by his relatives. But when he hit puberty, he lost confidence in his voice because he could no longer hit high notes. But his
But that's okay, Ken. Because now you sing deep into the underworld.
confidence came back after being mentored by Pablo, who taught him how to harness his unique low voice that seemingly sounds like it came from the underworld.
Oh!
When it comes to dance, he didn't know he could do it until he was forced to in order to get good grades during their school intramurals. After discovering dance, he transformed from a guy who didn't know it to someone who can fly. Because of his raw talent, he ended up teaching dance to the entire school and continued on to join the dance group called Amigo 7, a would-be rival of Josh and Stell's crew, Sayon. It quickly became a reverse if you can't beat them, then join them kind of deal. So Josh recruited Ken. But there was a
Are you open-minded?
problem. He was hundreds of islands away and didn't have the money. What
Aw.
did Josh do? He shelled out for his plane ticket. With nothing else to lose, Felipe went and left his previous life in the countryside. He then trained with the boys and officially debuted with them as Ken, the main dancer, the bass vocalist, and the lead rapper of the group. One thing to note is that they were an unlikely bunch because they wouldn't have met each other if Tatang Robin stayed with his already successful group in Korea. Justin didn't make it in his first audition, so he almost didn't try again until Josh told him to do so. And Ken wouldn't even have the opportunity to join if the ShowBT trainees didn't come back after that quitting incident. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the butterfly effect. When a small and seemingly insignificant occurrence has a rippling effect through time, leading to a
Yeah, that's crazy.
consequential event sometime long after
Thank goodness that man left his trio and did his own thing. My goodness.
the initial event, or as Google would put it, the phenomenon whereby a minute localized change in a complex system can have large effects elsewhere. Tatang Robin's so-called mistake back in 2002 led to forming the future P-pop kings. In 2018, SB19 was formed. The name of the group was carefully picked. The number 19 is the sum of Korea and the Philippines country code digits, 82 and 63. So 8 plus 2 plus 6 plus 3 is 19. If you subtract both numbers, you also get the same
I already knew that because of my subscribers, and they told me in the comments.
result. SB doesn't only mean ShowBT. It is also about their ultimate goal for Pinoy sound to break into the music industry, which is fearlessly represented by this phrase: soundbreak.
Dang. Wow, that's crazy. This guy really knows how to put some videos together. I'll tell you that. Okay, episode 2. Let's just get into it. And it should already be into that playback speed.
Disclaimer, this video is only based on my personal research. I might miss some details and it's possible to have discrepancies, but I did my best to get as much accurate information
okay.
as possible, so enjoy. Just a quick correction to episode 1, Josh didn't only recruit Ken, but also Justin. Josh told Justin about the workshop, which gave him the opportunity to become a ShowBT
Yeah, Josh is the real one. He be bringing the people together.
trainee. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get into the video.
Get in the zone.
Everyone has that one thing that makes them feel good about themselves. Like they're in control. Everything else could be going completely haywire.
Ano ba yan, Stell? Ano yung ayos na yan? Talagang style yan.
Like the world is completely falling apart around you.
Minsan na makita ng tao kung gaano kami naghihirap.
But when you're doing that one thing, life is wonderful. And that makes everything worth it.
모대로 씨, 검사 결과가 나왔습니다.
임신인가요?
아니요, 임신은 아닙니다.
Then why do I feel weak lately?
Mrs. Montero, you are HIV positive.
Addie Hong. She could have easily become a popular celebrity in the Philippines. Back in Korea, she was a well-established theater actress, a vocal, dance, and beauty coach, a one-woman show. But instead, she chose to use her experience to guide and nurture the boys to reach their highest potential. Along with Tatang Robin, she was also one of the main reasons why SB19 is where they are now. She is popularly known as Miss Hongganda, and we will see her often in this video. Before SB19's debut, they tried to establish an online presence. So on May 16, 2018, they created their Facebook page. This could possibly be the unofficial date they were formed.
Dang, they're so young.
They started posting song covers like these.
Send me your location, let's focus on communicating, cause I just need the time and place to come through. Yeah. I hope he buys you flowers, I hope he holds your hand.
And dance covers like these. They became more active in social media while maintaining their regular performances in small events. They did this until it was almost time for their debut.
Ooh.
We have good news for you guys. Kasi after the very, very long wait, finally, yes, finally, we will be releasing our debut single entitled Tila Luha!
October 26, 2018, SB19 finally debuted with their ballad single called Tila Luha. But did you know that it wasn't the only song that they had at the time? They also had Love Goes, but they chose to debut with Tila Luha to capture the hearts of the Filipino people because the lyrics are in Tagalog. They then started promoting their debut song in every way they could think of. November 17, 2018 marked SB19's first ever live stream to promote their debut single.
Magsimula natin ang first SB Talent Camp Facebook Live. Let's wait.
Hey, 3 is something, right? 3 is something. Oh, let's wait for 10.
10 na lang, 10 viewers.
Despite the very few viewers, they went all out to entertain them.
여러분, 저는 너무 배고파요. 하이트 더 해줄게. wait.
Sa wakas, dumating na rin ang oras na aking pinakahihintay. Matagal-tagal na rin nagsaray. Sige lang, sige, hangin para bang walang pangangabang nadarama. Bigay mo na, machine gun, ratatatatatatatata.
Ladies and gentlemen, to among the SB19 is a shit member.
Ooh, okay, so I don't think I've seen anything with him doing some flips or anything. So where is it? Where does it happen? Where is his acrobaticness?
Yep, they did all that in front of just a little over 10 viewers. You can still watch the whole live stream to this day on their official Facebook page. They also perform in schools, malls, nursing homes, and even orphanages, but their debut only received a lukewarm reception. The stream count didn't move as fast as they have hoped for. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. But their grind continued. After the disappointing debut, they started preparing for a comeback.
Today, nandito kami sa recording studio. Nagre-record kami ng kanta namin. Ito mismo yung parang kwento ng SB19.
Yung lyrics mismo ng song namin is about pangarap ng SB19. Parang
You know what I'd love to see? And I don't remember. I call myself a stay, but I have a crappy memory. And I don't remember what year Stray Kids debuted. I thought it was 2018 or it was 2019. Maybe it's 2018. And if it was, then that means they almost, and I don't remember what month it was, they debuted in the same year. And what would be really cool is to have an SB19 and Stray Kids, you know, collaboration. Comment below if you are also a stay and an 18.
Ito po talaga yung kantang gugulat sa lahat.
They collaborated with a critically acclaimed Korean producer, Oh Won Lee, who's behind the success of TVXQ and Stray Kids. Pablo,
speaking of Stray Kids, oh my gosh!
with the help of the boys, wrote the song as they began to enter the go-up era.
Oh.
They started practicing their go-up dance routine, which was intricately choreographed by Stell and Ken. They were required to practice 30 times daily until they reached 1,000 reps. And boy, they did it. They were even challenged to perform the dance routine at double speed. Yep, that was not even in fast forward. Now that they have
well, it was in my video.
reached the quota, it was time for them to shoot the music video. July 19, 2019. SB19 dropped their Go Up music video. Expectations were higher because this was the song that showcased their singing, dancing, and songwriting skills. But for some reason, it has also met a lukewarm reception. They then started promoting the song using the methods they know. They even reacted to their own music video. But none of their efforts made a significant impact. After that, you would think that it was the biggest setback. But not until August 17, 2019. This was when the Go Up press conference happened. This was supposed to be an effort for them to establish a presence in the media world. They were interviewed by professional journalists, but instead of receiving a warm welcome, most of what they got was straight out disrespect.
Pero kanina pa ako ba? Ano ba yan, Stella? Ano yung ayos mo yan? Talagang style yan. Hindi lang yung Stella.
Yung style ko po yung name ko. Kasi po, yung name ko po. Kasi po galit po siya, yung name ko po is Stell Bester po. Ako, Stell Bester po. Ako kasi po yung mama ko.
Oh, Sylvester Stallone. Oh, that's cute.
Doon niya po si Sylvester Stallone, kaya doon niya po pinasa yung name ko po. Tapos po, yung style ko naman po ngayon, actually po, hindi ko po alam eh. Kung ano lang po yung naisip ko, ito yung sukat ko. Sige, ganito na kami po ko, parang ganito po, ito na po yung naisip ko. Pero wala po.
So lahat kayo, straight.
What? What kind of what kind of questions are these?
Opo, pero may gulat po.
Hindi po, siguro nilawin ko lang po yung Estelle. Kasi po, madalas po siya iba, kasi magaling na po kami magkaibigan. Close din po kasi siya madalas sa mga babae. So siguro po, baka po akalain nyo medyo weird po yung ano. Kasi kami kapag siya ngayon, mga paano bakla.
Okay, and What are you trying to make? What's your what point are we getting to? My guy.
umaga, stay sa gabi. Hindi, joke lang. Pero yun nga po, ganun lang po siguro, parang medyo meron lang po siya parang manners na girly, pero hindi po, wala pong ganun sa isa.
What? I don't even know what to say about now. I don't know what to say to that. Oh, thank goodness, because it mattered so much. What? Just because he's on a little more feminine side? What? Does that scare you, sir? He's not afraid to show his feminine side.
You're not bothered by the fact that you sound like hindi kayo napapakalat sa tunog nyo na hindi kayo may tino kung hindi yan.
Hindi po kami nababagay kasi po, saan ko ba?
Kasi ako bothered.
Why are you bothered? Why? Why does that bother you? Who is this? I'm gonna go. No, I'm not gonna promote violence. I'm not gonna promote violence.
Despite all the judgment, they handled the interview professionally. As the event concluded, the boys broke down to tears backstage and comforted each other. Perhaps they're just human beings, and the thick skin they develop all throughout those years can only take so much punishment, especially when it went straight to their hearts. They all broke down. This made them question themselves if they were still doing the right thing. It casted so much doubt that it made them all decide to call it quits. Everyone left, except Stell. He received the most hate, but he was the one left.
Dude, Stell is the one that's be staying. Everyone left because everyone left the company, and he was like, I'll still be here. I'll be the one and only trainee. And then Stell was like, no, I can't give up. I gotta keep going. I gotta stay. I gotta keep pushing through.
Left standing. Perhaps he was a good example of someone who has entered the zone. Someone who managed to tap into the altered state of consciousness where time disappears and he becomes so focused that not even judgment could stop him from doing what he loves. But he knew for a fact.
You go, bro. You go.
That he can never do it alone. And there he was, alone. But only for a moment. Josh had a realization to not give up because people have not seen everything yet. This prompted the other members to return.
Yeah, and who gives a crap about what other people think? If you want to do it and it makes you happy, go and do it. Who cares about other people? The haters are gonna hate.
And witness their lives change in just one fateful day when their go-up dance practice got uploaded on YouTube on September 2, 2019. It quickly went viral, which opened a lot of doors for SB19 to have TV guestings and live performances.
May group hug? Okay. Sige. Dyan lang kayo.
Ang galing namin! Introduce yourself. Get in the zone, break! Hi, we are SB19! My name is Mike Spice Kita. I have the wittiest ABS.
Isn't that who was in their Dunka music video? Or no? Am I wrong?
As the world started to notice them, their YouTube channel grew exponentially. Their dance practice video reached 1 million views in just a week, then 2 million a month later. Wait a minute, who's Arum? November 2, 2019.
So for the final announcement of the fandom name, 3, 2, 1. Hello! 18!
Yeah! 18! What's me? 18, what's me?
Una-una sa lahat, pag pinakita mo siya, 18 siya, di ba? 18. So kasi kami, SB19, 18, 19.
So if there's no 18, then also there's no SB19.
Yes. Kasi kumbaga, syempre 18 muna pag natin, 17, 18, 19. Pag wala 18, hindi makakarating sa 19.
Another means?
Another meaning. So if you're going to read this, 18, it could also be read as atin. So all the success, all the, lahat ng natatamo natin ngayon, atin to, ours. Everything is ours. Hindi lang sa amin, kundi sa inyo rin. Atin. Everyone. Atin. Kumbaga, kumbaga, yung dreams natin, pangarap, problems, everything, we will share together. Atin yan, lalaban tayo, kaya natin yan lahat. Lastly, gusto talaga namin i-special mention yung Oro sa lahat-lahat. Kasi sa totoo lang, talagang sila yung unang sumuporta sa amin nung hindi pa nila, wala pang nakakilala sa amin sa grupo namin. Kaya thankful kami. Kaya nakahiwalay yan, A, ibig sabihin yan, Oro. Okay, Oro and SB. Oro and SB. Sana po masaya po kayo sa lahat sa fandom name na nagawa po ng grupo namin. And katulad nga po, 18, atin, sama-sama tayong kaangat. We will go up.
Yeah! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is when 18 was born. So what does it mean to be in the zone? Was it really only Stell that entered it? If you think about it, even before the other members decided to quit,
The zone makes me think of, I think it's in Kuroko Basketball, the anime, and I don't know if, because I know they watch anime, but I thought that was a newer anime. I actually don't know when it came out, but in there, when you're in the zone, it's like, you're like, just become this ultimate player, and then there's like, another thing beyond the zone, which is like, I don't know, when you're in your deep subconscious and like you go through this door. I don't remember exactly, but I just remember the zone being in one of the, and it's like, oh, he's in the zone. Like, it's hard for people to do that. This makes me, this is, you know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, anyway, I can't speak right now, man.
They were already done with the dance practice. That alone made the press conference irrelevant. It didn't even matter that it happened. It turned out that actually all of them have always been in the zone. Being in the zone is what allowed them to defy all the odds. It was the zone that allowed a 5-foot man in the NBA. It was the zone that allowed a man living in the streets to rise up and become a billionaire. It was the zone that took an idea from someone's head to the moon. It was the zone that won wars, and lack of it had lost. It is the zone that separates their ideas and dreams from a materialistic reality. Manny, Efren, Catriona, SB19. What do they have in common?
Whoa. Dang. I actually really want to watch another one, but I don't know. I think right now I'm just gonna stop there. I mean, this video isn't even gonna be that long, and y'all were saying like, oh, I don't even care if the video was like 2 hours long. And obviously you could always just pause and like come back another day and just like continue watching. But for now, that's gonna be it for today's video. I'll just watch the 2 episodes. I mean, maybe later today when my phone is charged again, because I also wanted to just record some other reaction videos. 17 just came out with a new song and maybe mini album, but I've only seen like their Thunder, I think is what it's called, and I really want to watch that. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank y'all for watching. I am super excited. This is like a Netflix show. I want to continue watching it, but and there's only 7 right now, and I think he has done another one, but it says like it's unavailable. So he probably, I don't know if he posts them once a week or whatnot, but the 7th one like just came out recently, and I remember some of you were telling me that. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Click that like button and hit the notification bell to be notified when another video drops. Again, thank you so much, 18. After this whole series, I will be doing their solos. I'm super excited to start their solos. I have been waiting, but I figured I'll do this first and then continue with some of their solos, maybe 1 per member, and then go back to finishing one of their albums. So much to do. Also, if you want, check out my Instagram pages. I have one for dance and I have one for my art. And go check out my TikTok where I do post some of my dances there. I post like vlogs, just random stuff like that. But if you would like, go check it out. And I hope y'all are having a lovely day or night, whatever time it is right now in your zone. Haha, time zone. No pun intended. But thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.